So my name is Shangar and today we'll discuss about coin exchange problem. Let's get started. So in this video, we will discuss what problem says, what are approaches, how we can solve this for any system of currencies given to us. Suppose we are given that this is the system of currency used in our country. Suppose I am to get the total of 116. So what I will do, I simply watch that 100 is the biggest number before this. So I'll take a bill of 100. Now I left with 16. This is next smallest value. So to get the sum 16, I can use 3 such bills. Now I left with 1. I will use this and I get the sum 116. Why I do this? In practical life, if I want to carry 100 value, then I won't prefer taking 100 coins of value 1. I would prefer carrying 1 bill of value 100. I want to minimize the number of coins or number of bills. So that's why we come to this coin exchange problem, in which we have to calculate the minimum number of coins to carry a given value for a given system of currencies. Okay. So for this system, for this value, 5 is the answer. 5 is the minimum number of bills or coins that I am to carry to get this value. In this problem, I moved with greedy approach. I took the biggest bill below the target value and then calculated remaining amount. In 116, I took first bill of value 100. That take me closer to 116 and that's closest to 116. So I left with value 16. Now, any note or bill just below this was 5. So I took 3 bills of 5. Now I left with value 1. So there was a bill or coin with value 1. So I took that one. This was simple greedy approach. Now suppose here is a non-standard system of coins in which I am to get the sum 8. If I proceed with the greedy approach, then I will be taking 1 coin of value 7 and now I left with value 1. And here is a problem. I do not have any coin with value 1. So this method or approach fails when we have non-standard system. Now what is the meaning of standard system? Till when we can go with greedy approach? How can we find that whether greedy approach will be working or not? Whenever any greater value can be calculated or formed by using smaller values, then the system is standard. This value can be found by this, not an issue. But this value can't be found by 2. So this is not a standard system. Now we understand, whenever a standard system is given, we will calculate it by greedy approach. We will find the note or bill just smaller than or equal to target and will divide target by the value of that note, and storing that an integer, we will get the number of bills we will be using for this value. Now for calculating the amount remaining, we will use this target value minus value of this bill into this value. This will be our remaining value or target, and we will solve this again by this. The greedy approach is for standard systems only. Moving to such systems, suppose here is a system and I have to calculate a total of 13. Greedy approach will fail by taking two values of this and done. Can't form this sum with greedy approach. So we will solve this problem with recursion. Let's see how. One more thing we have to understand with this problem, that every coin is given with infinite supply. Suppose here is a problem. There is a function that takes an array with standard coins, and here is the sum we have to calculate. So we will be solving this with this value included. So this will be our system, and this is the value we're left with. If I avoid last value, then system becomes this way. I remove last value, that's 6, and my sum is 13 only. Again, solve with last value included, so get some this. If last value not included, then this. Here, if last value included, you can see it's sort of greedy approach that ends here. But the power of recursion says, if we move with greedy approach and it dies anyway, we have other branches to get the same solution without any problem. Solve. Breaking this. In this way we can see that this tree will expand too big and will get the solution. When such case encounters, then return int max. This means maximum number of operations will be taken, so that it won't accept this value, because we have to return minimum number of coins or bills we will be having to get this sum. So now we can see that this is same as this. So again, optimal subproblem because minimum is here, coinciding solutions because same thing to be calculated separately. So again we come with dynamic programming. If you do not know what is dynamic programming, so you should top right corner I button on your screen and check out my video to understand the approach for dynamic programming. Now, if you understand what is the approach for dynamic programming, again I'll make a two-dimensional matrix. So we can see there are number of columns equals to the value to be calculated plus 1, and number of rows equals to the coins in system plus 1. We will firstly derive the approach for dynamic programming, and then we will understand it with function. Suppose this is our array for dynamic programming, and this is an array for the value of coins. One more thing we will be adding. So I made this one-dimensional array that will track the coins we'll be using to get that sum. Okay? Don't worry guys, you will understand it. It's a bit complicated, but you will definitely get this very well. Now understand, when I have 0, the value of coin, to get the value 0, I do not need any coin, so base case. If 0 value coin is there, then I will be having infinite number of coins to get any value out of these. Okay? Now, these are base cases. Let's write down the formula we will be using for completing this. So now I'll make you understand how this formula works. If you have seen my knapsack problem video, then you must remember what I was doing, I was taking all above coins. So if I'm here, I'll consider 7 only. If I'm here, I'll consider 2 and 7. If I'm here, I'll consider 3, 2 and 7 in my system. So now, to understand this formula, we understand that any coin can be used to that value if that value is greater than the value of coin or equal to the value of coin. If that is not greater than or equal to the value of coin, then we can't use it. Suppose I am to calculate the value 1 with 7 value coin, so I can't use this, so I'll copy infinite only. For some 2, I can't use the coin with value 7. Same for 3, 4, 5, 6. But when there is a sum to be calculated 7 and I have the coin with value 7, now this is a critical case from where actual application begins. When I am to calculate the sum 7, either I would be considering this coin or I want to be considering this coin. So if I want to be considering this coin, then I'll copy above value. Or if I would be considering this coin, then I will take this coin that will give me a value of 7. Now we understand these values can't be calculated using a 7 value coin. But for total 7, I can use one coin with value 7. So this will be our answer. We understand this will be our answer, but how? We understand either we will be using this coin or we want to be using this coin. If we want to be using this coin, then we'll copy above value only. Or if I would be using this coin, then to get the total this, I'll reduce the value of this, because from this total I have find this total by this coin, and now I left with this j minus value at this. Now I left with this value only to get this sum. So I add 1 to this. So either I want to be considering this coin in my ultimate solution, or I would be considering this coin, so it will increase my count by 1 and will calculate the number of coins required for remaining values. For 7, this coin adds the value 7. So I'll subtract this index with value of this coin and add 1 to this. So 1 will be here. Now after writing 1 here, I numbered them and initialize them with these values. Now after getting this value, I will use the position corresponding to this. So I'll update 7 with 1. This means I got this total using the coin at this position. Okay. Now for here, again total is greater than equals to value of coin. So either use above value, that's infinite, or use 1 plus this total minus value given by this coin, that's 1. So add 1 to this. No gain, infinite. Similarly, when there is total 9, so either infinite or 9 minus 7, this plus 1, infinite. Now to get the total 1, I know that it's not possible to get the total 1 by using these two coins, infinite. To getting 2, this time we'll be considering for this index of this column. So either infinite or this minus 2 or this plus 1. So we'll be using 2 coins to get the total 13 within this system, and now we will use this array to track the coins we will be using to get this sum. Okay. Now to get the total 13, I will use 4th coin, that will give me value 6. And now I'll move to 13 minus 6 at this position. So I'll use first coin, that will give me value 7. And now 13 minus 6 minus 7, that's 0. So 0 here. So these 2 coins will be used to get the total 13. Similarly, suppose I have to calculate the total 9. So I'll use second coin. My remaining balance is 7. So at this, I'll use first coin. Similarly, suppose I have to get the total 4. So use second coin. My remaining value is 2. Use second coin. I got it. We can use this array to get the track of coins we will be using. Okay. So guys, as we know, we just solved the problem with a 2-dimensional matrix and having a space complexity of order NC. Now I'll solve the same problem with less space complexity and same method. See how? We will update our formula this way by removing the element of row, that means I. So now I'll start from here, and now the same way. So 0 is smaller than 7, no update. 1 is smaller, no update. Smaller, 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 greater than or equal to. So infinite or 7 minus 7, this plus 1. Here. Now I'm storing 0 as I am starting my index from 0. That's not an issue, we'll solve that while writing the function. Now 8, infinite or 8 minus 7, this plus 1, infinite. I, okay. Now I move to this. No update, no update. Here, infinite or 2 minus 2. This plus 1. And here 1. Here infinite or this plus 1. This. Infinite or this plus 1. Now for this I, no update, no update, no update. Infinite or 3 minus 3, this plus 1. Similarly here 2 or this plus 1, 2 only. Here this or this plus 1, this plus 1. Plus 1. Now for this, no update, no update, no. Here 2 or 6 minus 6, this plus 1. Okay. So I hope you understood how we reduce space complexity with same time complexity in dynamic programming. So now I'll write a function that will return this value only. This means the minimum number of coins required for given sum. Okay, you can write this array as well, that's on you. So in order to write a function, I'll declare a one-dimensional array A that has the coins valid in that system. So I'm just taking these only. You can make your own. Now the function return an integer. Function name is sol. Function takes an integer that is the total required value. I'll declare an array AR with size C plus 1 and I'll declare an integer N that is the size of this array, so it will be size of A over size of A0. Okay. Now I'll initialize this entire array with first element 0 and rest are int max. So AR 0 equals to 0 for int I equals to 1, I is less than equals to C, I plus plus AR I equals to int max. Okay. Now I'll use a nested for loop that has I for each value in A and J for each value in AR. Okay. So for now there is a condition. If the index of that column is greater than equals to the coin we are considering, then only we can check. So if j is greater than equals to ai, then only you can make change. Okay, now here's another condition. If ar j is greater than ar j minus ai, then we know we can have a better value. So for storing better, this means minimum value, in ar j put ar j minus ai plus 1. Okay, this way the array ar will be updated, and ultimately we have to return the value at last block. So return ar c. So I hope in this video you understood what is the problem, what is greedy method, what is standard currency system, and what is recursion method, what is dynamic programming, and how it can be implemented through this function. If you understand this, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more such videos for sure. See you next time.
Bit harder, yo. I'm a rider, provider.